Sorry, this is number 15. Okay, I multiplied the bottom line times negative 4 to turn this into 4x. So the x's go away. Okay, so I'm doing negative 17 plus 52. That's the same thing, by the way, as 52 minus 17, right? Surprise, surprise, it's 35. So, divide by negative 35. Y is negative 1. I'm going to plug that right, maybe right here. 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. So negative x minus 5 is negative 13. So if I add 5, I get negative x equals negative 8. So x is 8. Let's see if 8, negative 1 works in this one. If I put an 8 right there, negative 4 times 8. Negative 1 right there. Negative 15 times negative 1 plus 15. That does that. Negative 17. Okay. There's 13. Multiply the bottom line times 2 to get rid of the x's. Okay. Next, 17. All right. Oh, this is the first tricky one.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I was gonna say it looks kind of.
Does anybody have a bright idea?
Is it funky monkey? I could guess.
Shh. Okay, Corey, what'd you say? What do you mean?
Like, you define a number that like 8 and 9 both go into.
Okay, yes. So basically we have to multiply both lines by something, because 4 doesn't go into 7, 8 doesn't go into 9. So we have to multiply both lines by something that they both go into, a common multiple. Yes. So so we could do the y's or the x's. Since the y's are opposite already, it might be easier to get rid of the y. What do 8 and 9 both go into?
72.
72. What do I need to multiply the 8 by to turn it into 72?
9.
What do I need to multiply the 9 by to turn it into 72?
8. I don't like it anymore.
This is terrible.
It's too much.
This is as far as it gets, though.
Oh my goodness. Still don't like it.
Well, if you combine this with
No,
fractions,
no,
that would
no,
probably about as hard
no.
as it
No thanks.
We're good.
If you ever do that, I'm quitting school.
You're not in school.
Lots of steps, so there's a lot of places to make mistakes, I guess. Okay, now, how many x's do I have?
Too many.
Since they're both negative, it's you add them together. Negative 95. Y's go away. 81 minus 176. That'd be the same thing as 176 minus 81, but then it would be negative. And guess what? It's negative 95.
That's really pleasant to look at.
Isn't it so nice to see something like that after a huge long problem?
After a hard day of math.
So
then you know that you're
x
right. You don't have to do that.
is 1
Number uno.
after all those big numbers.
You got
And then
one.
if I plug 1 back somewhere, maybe
Negative 4x plus
this
9.
one. Negative 4 times 1 is negative 4 plus 9y equals negative 22. So since it's negative 4, to get rid of it, you add positive 4.
Yeah, I do. I do hear it. Good.
How do you know when to multiply?
When the numbers aren't the same, you have to
When
make
they
them.
aren't?
Yeah, so number one, it's already ready to add.
So when the x isn't.
See, look, you want the x's or y's to cancel out when you add them together. So they have to be like opposites, like 4 plus negative 4. That
Do
cancels
you
out.
multiply them to
No.
On 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. No, on 1, 2, 3, and 4. You just combine both.
Brain.
See, like, all of these are already opposite. But then here, you have to and then it's cracked.
What?
All right. Somebody help me with the first step. I got it done.
Skylar.
Yeah, Skylar.
See, I would.
Carolyn, what do you think? Any ideas?
So, we're going.
So if you wanted to get rid of the y's, what can 2 and 7 both turn into? 14. So what should I multiply the top line by? 7. And what should I multiply the bottom line by? 2. Easy as that. If you did the x's, 4 and 10 both go into 20. So if you multiply them by each other, that kind of works, but you don't necessarily have to. So the top line times 7. The bottom line times 2.
What?
Hey, how much longer till school's over?
Okay, then we have negative 28 minus 20, negative 48. Y's go away. 98 minus 50,
48.
48. We got a lot of ones today, don't we? Divide by negative 48. If I put negative 1 back, let's say for this x, negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4.
I had a dream that I was in the 70s.
No one.
Subtract 4. Divided by negative 2.
I wish I was dead.
My hat doesn't fit.
You're looking at your phone. Like, all that happened, look at you.
Sorry.
Not with your shoe.
Quad.
You look like
That's what you're thinking.
Backpack.
Jordan, you said you were going to be talking to.
Oh, that's right, thanks.
Yes.
what you say.
We kind of talked about something like 22 on the last worksheet, but we'll talk about it again.
Read it. Read it.
Nah.
Okay. Do I need picked on? Nah, don't want the drama.
I did.
Skylar, how can I get rid of the exit? Well,
You
maybe.
want the drama, so
You don't
pick
want the
Skylar.
Skylar, go.
Yeah, I just thought that right as I said it.
I want the drama. So Skylar.
You're only the second most dramatic person in class,
Who's the
Skylar.
first?
You.
Oh!
You're shocked by this?
Okay, I'm
Why are
okay.
you-
I was like, what's happening?
Okay. Skylar, how can I get rid of the
See how it
X's?
is.
Would you divide the body by 2?
No.
Multiply, I meant multiply, sorry.
No. Okay, shh. So, this 2 doesn't go into 5, and this 8 doesn't go into 20. But what do 2 and 5 both go into? 10. So what do I need to multiply by to make that happen? 5 and 2. So notice we're kind of multiplying them by each other. Because 5 times 2 is equal to 2 times 5.
Just the normal, you know, like a
Wait, do we have to do 21?
Yeah, you guys are doing 21.
Yes.
Wouldn't all of them, because they're like 10, negative 10?
They're all opposite, so what happens when we add?
Oh.
Okay,
Whoa. 0 equals 0?
what does that mean?
Under like the 0 with the line through it.
All numbers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bro, it literally means
Infinite solution. I forgot that we weren't allowed to say all real
Okay.
numbers in this.
Yeah, all real numbers doesn't make any sense. Because the solution is a mixture of x's and y's. So you can't just plug in anything. But there are an infinite number of things because they're basically the same equation. How do I know what would have made it no solution?
4 equals 0.
Like 0 equals 2. Something that's not true.
What about like, oh, never mind.
This is no solution.
What was like?
If it's true, that's infinite
What,
solution.
what if it was like the 2 was on this side?
It doesn't matter. 2 equals 0 is nonsense, and that basically means it's not going to work. Yeah.
What is the difference between all real numbers and influence? Yes.
Okay. If you have this equation, it's all real numbers because everything's going to work. Shh. There's one variable. Okay, but if you have like this equation, if x were 1, y would be 2. If x were 2, y would be 4. If x were 3, y would be 6. So there are an infinite number of solutions, but not everything works. So for example, if I put in 0, 5, that's not a solution. So there are infinite solutions sometimes, and this one there are. But there's also an infinite number of non-solutions. So you can't just say all real numbers because it's a certain combo of numbers that works. This one would be all real numbers. If I plug in 1, 1 equals 1, 2 equals 2. Okay. But the difference is this has one variable, this has 2 variables, so the answers look different. This would just be like everything. So on this chapter, this is not going to be an answer. On this chapter, all real numbers, not an answer. Okay, I guess I'll go back to the odds, so 23 then. Why?
Did she have the, I think she had the answer for 21. No, I do not.
Oh, you guys have to do 21 on your own now. I'll check. Oh, 23, they switched it up a little bit more.
Bro, I'm actually gonna hurt you.
Okay, So, we haven't seen one like this yet. Any ideas?
Is there anything like
Just put the negative.
like you type A so it like matches the other one?
Okay, yeah, girls hush. How can we make a match?
Take the negative 14 and put it on.
Carolyn?
But as the negative 14 is on the other side of the equation, we can do the same with the bottom, in which 4 would be on the other side of the equation.
Okay.
Huh?
So,
I didn't know half those words.
we want them just to match somehow, and you can do it different ways. If I minus the 10y over here, that would leave my two constants on the left and the y's and x's on the right. You guys see what I'm saying?
No.
If I minus
I see.
the 10y to the right,
Oh.
it would look a lot more like the top.
Yes. Okay.
So the x's and y's would be on the same side.
So for like 20.
So I get 4 equals, I get 4 equals negative 10y plus 2x for the bottom line.
Did you not multiply?
I haven't, no, I'm just trying to line all the letters up and numbers. You guys see what I did?
Yeah.
I do.
A little bit.
On the bottom line,
Don't move. Don't move.
I just subtracted 10y over so that it'd be on the same side as the minus 20y. Now, it's still kind of written backwards, but it doesn't really matter. We just needed the x's and y's and constants to be lined up.
They just added another step.
Yeah, they just made it more annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, however, this one is
Still not ready.
slightly easier than the others at this point. Because why?
We gotta multiply by negative 2 on the top.
because that.
Or the bottom. Multiply by negative 2.
Because what can I do right here?
Multiply by negative 2.
Ooh, divide.
Okay, multiply the top, negative 2. Why are we not just multiplying by 2? Because if I multiply by 2, they'd both be negative 20y.
Wait. What? So you can choose what you multiply by. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
As long as you do the same thing to both sides, it's legal. So I'm going to multiply by negative 2.
I must be. Whoa.
Okay. Then I'm going to add the lines together. So I get negative 22 equals, y's are gone, negative 11x. So x is, no,
It's 2.
x is 2.
What was that?
Okay, so I'm going to plug 2 somewhere, maybe right here. 4 equals negative 10y plus 4.
You know how to switch? Same way, you do the same thing. Actually, okay. Because they
So when I subtract 4, I get negative 10y equals 0.
well, you're 1.
So divide by negative 10, y is 0. Yeah,
How's your day been so far?
fine. Okay, why don't you guys go ahead and do the evens? I'm going to come around in like 2 or 3 minutes, check your 14.
I did one.
Thanks for nothing.